everyone. My name is Sharon Meyer, and I am the First Nation and Métis consultant for the Northeast School Division, and my office is in the Nipawin area. I am from the Treaty 6 territory, and originally my home base is the Beardy's Okamasas Cree Nation. And I had the opportunity to visit with Zoey Roy and her Artist in Residence program. And she inspired us to write poems, and this is mine, coming from a perspective of a mother, a cookum, and an educator. And my poem is entitled Drum On. Hide the drum, hide the pipe, hide in the night. Practice your ceremony out of sight. I come from a time of white man control, instilling white fear in pure punitive role. Ceremony when I grew up was held in secret. Listen to the drum and follow the pipe with no regret. Told not to share what I saw and what was done. Don't trust the white man, don't trust none. In the secret, silent world, my voice was stripped. In a white man's school, culture ripped. I felt ashamed, lost, and denied, hopped on assimilation and went for a ride. Life progressed and had babies of my own. They need a better life than the way I was grown. Entered the world of Indian education, taught to read through white man persuasion. Felt empowerment and pride rise from within me. No more shame, no more secrets, let me be. Empowered Indians began the movement, all calling out for improvement. Carry the drum and lift the pipe. White people say, what's the hype? Pride in my voice, pride in myself, no longer a part of your book on the shelf. Our ceremonies are open with invite. No more secrets hiding out of sight. We fought for education, destroyed the school of residential. Our young people are empowered with potential. They carry the drum and are our new teachers. Powered with oral teachings, they're our new seekers. Come join the circle and learn what has not been lost. We are resilient, vocal, and will fight at any cost. Reconciliation, treaty relationship, land acknowledgement, not going to be a part of some white judgment. Intergenerational trauma, murdered missing women. We strive on white people with a shade of omen. Beat on the drum and light the pipe. No more hiding in the night. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy other poems.
Buju Gakana Awaya, Sarah Nindijdikas, Mikasi Nindodem, Kuchiching Nindonji, Anemiki Wekwadong Nindonji Ba. So I just said to you in my language, Anishinaabe Moen, it's an Ojibwe dialect over here, that my name is Sarah. I'm from the Eagle Clan. My family comes from Kuchiching First Nation, and I usually reside in Thunder Bay. Right now I'm in Airland First Nation, and while I've been here, I've got to spend a lot of time on the land, and just I really enjoy winters over here. My partner's from this community, and it's a 4-hour drive north of Thunder Bay, Ontario. So it was really awesome to see Zoey promoting this workshop series where she was going to teach about spoken word, and I've admired Zoey's gift for spoken word for a long time. I first met Zoey in Toronto at a symposium. It was like a symposium for social innovation. And we were a group of Indigenous youth that the 4 R's youth movement brought together, really just to support each other through that conference space. And so we do debriefs before and after. And Zoey just brought so much creativity and light into the space. And that evening, she did perform spoken word, and I went and got to witness her. So when I saw she was teaching about spoken word, is like I thought like I'll be learning how to do spoken word. So that's why I joined the meeting, and I was really surprised to find that everyone was already sharing their poems, and earlier that day, I happened to have I've been doing a workshop series with my work. And so, with a couple of friends that came out to the workshop series, one of them is like a colleague, um, and another one I have worked with too in the past. They joined and we created a song together. And so at this session, I shared that song, and I was really surprised when I was invited to come and perform at this because I thought, oh, this is more for people in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and um, I thought it was really cool the way Zoe said, it's, those boundaries, those divisions of uh, the provinces are kind of like colonially imposed, right? And so um, she's like, we'd love to hear your perspective on um, your connection to land through the poem. And um, yeah, it's always exciting. I think more so, I get to visit with people from other nations from all over Turtle Island. And I really miss that aspect of the work. Like when we were at that symposium together, um, we were all coming from different nations and different places. And I really missed that pre-pandemic time. I never thought I would miss conferences so much, but I really do, and I think a lot of us do. So I'll just share this poem that I co-wrote with Allison Skirtchak and Carol Kajarini. I know that I'm not pronouncing her name in like the Finnish correct way, but yeah, those are a couple of my friends that we wrote this song together with the support of Elizabeth Hill, who is a Mohawk artist, creative, singer, songwriter. She has a lot of titles, I guess. But working with her was just amazing. She just kind of created this space for us to relax. And then at the end, she has this body, breath, voice practice. And so it just kind of helps you um, kind of release things from your body, but also it works your vocal cords too. So it's a practice for singers. But I'm not going to sing this song. I'm not quite like confident enough to sing it. I'm just going to speak the words as a poem. So we wrote this together. The snow is sparkling on the ground. The sky is bright and blue. The trees are dancing gently to the windy tune. The chickadees are jumping branch to branch among the pines. White shadows wrap around the stillness here beneath the sky. And that was just inspired from each of us in our respective locations. They're like just outside of Thunder Bay in the country. And I'm in Araland First Nation, and we just looked outside and we were inspired by what we saw outside our window. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to share today. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to seeing all the other artists' pieces. Miigwech. Thank you.
Time it does not stop. Record my time before I drop. This shit here is all I got. I've changed and traded my plots for plots. I follow time, it does not stop. Record my time before I drop. This shit here is all I got. I've changed and traded my plots for plots. I deal with the past before I move on. Hear me out before I blow up. I was woke before I grew up, acting like a brand new nuisance with no censor senses. Now they need that censorship. Ain't no clean version of my vision, bitches. Oh, learn from the digits fine. Learn to see with dirt in my eyes. Knew to speak when shit didn't seem right. Always admit my wrongs. No one's perfect in this life. No one's earned this more than I. Damn right, I'm afraid to die before I make it. And if I do, I hope this song rakes in the dough so Noah can go home to his ocean view. Kick back, feel his emotions, and crack a few. Prove to him this world isn't worthy of a presence, and that I'll never forget him, my one and only best friend. There's a bittersweet end. things I gotta tell you, and it's that. Skimming through life, cause regret, swimming in lies, you'll need the breath. Best forgive the multiple times to hear for your own success. I follow time, it does not stop. Record my time before I drop. This shit here is all I got. I've changed and traded my plots for plots. I follow time, it does not stop. Record my time before I drop. This shit here is all I got. I change and trade my plots for plots.
Well, hello there, and greetings from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Now, you might be shocked because I'm not wearing a shirt, but we're in the middle of the summer here in the southern hemisphere. So it's a hot and sticky night. And I would actually want to invite you for a drink. In my case, I will be drinking some coconut water. You might want something warmer though. First of all, I would really like to appreciate Zoey Roy for this invitation to perform, and for the library of the University of Saskatchewan. I have recently graduated International Relations, and I'm really looking forward to continue my career as a scholar and as a performer. Cheers. Now, before starting my piece, I would want to share with you that I have experience in my family that it's really similar to those that many people in Canada have faced. In fact, many Brazilians have this happen to them. My grandmother was raised in an Indian residential school. So I hope that we can understand by these shared experiences that many of the things that happen on the north also happen in the south. So for the survivors of Indian residential schools in Canada, I want to say that I'm there with you and I understand your pain and the feelings that you have. But together, we can be stronger and we can bring consciousness to our societies. This is Raise, Colonize. I hope you enjoy. We were first introduced at school and then at church. Back then, I enjoyed listening to what you had to say. Although some of the things you spoke about sounded a bit weird to me, I knew that I wasn't like you, even though you would always try to convince me so. Nevertheless, when I would find myself alone, facing a mirror, portals would open, and inner voices would come up to me, asking, "Who am I? Who am I? Who am I?" A question that I would repeat in my head, just like a mantra, that I couldn't find an answer to. It took me years and many experiences to be able to respond to it. But eventually, I realized what you were attempting to do to me. You almost whitewashed me. You made me admire your empire and what it accomplished when it invaded our territory. You came on your ships from Portugal, hopeless and starving. But those that were already here gave you food, shelter, and support on your journey. In exchange, you took them out of their homes, out of their cultures, and made them believe that eventually they would be accepted by you if they pursue Brazilian citizenship. Yet, when you're asked about what was your role in colonialism, you declared that you were unaware of what happened, that nobody saw it. And that's when I need to stop you and say, how can you say that if it is torn in the flesh of our memories? You use ropes to grab them and then break them, And you know the rest of the story. You were who legalized genocide. And I can't any longer accept that you're not taking responsibility. So stop calling me white brown to make me white, to weaken and dismantle me so I won't know where I came from. And listen when I tell you about the story of my great-grandma who was an Indian, my great-grandpa who was African. And this time, don't interrupt me and pretend to be an inspector of ID just to start saying that I'm not white or black nor Indian enough, that I'm illegal and don't belong here. Because let me tell you, the truth is that I have always been here, and no one is illegal on stolen land.
My name is Z the Free. I'm an artist, community builder. I really believe in the power of creative expression to help us find balance and healing, and to use these different creative outlets as a way to find the authentic part of ourselves and connect with each other. I do a lot of work with youth, which I'm very blessed to do. I'm also a filmmaker, and I started in the realm of poetry, and that connected me to the realm of rap, which is rhythm and poetry combined. And I absolutely love hip hop. It saved my life. I'm really honored to be connected to this culture, and I believe that words are powerful. Words allow us to share our truths, and words connect us to one another. It was a really great experience to be a part of these workshops. Zoey Roy is incredibly inspiring, and I found that the spaces that we all shared as a group on Thursday evenings was something that I deeply looked forward to. So I hope that you enjoy my pieces. I will be doing a spoken word piece and a rap. One of the things that we explored in the workshops was land, and I'm always thinking about my connection to place. I grew up on Treaty 7 land in the mountains and the rivers, and I'm starting to fall more and more in love with the prairies and the open skies of Treaty 6 territory. So I wrote this poem for my mother, and it's called Crocus for Clover. My mother's name is Clover, really. And something about her matches the magic of 4 leaves bringing good luck, with the word love literally in the center of her name. C, love, R. And she beams this from her person. As a child, I thought that adults shouted each other's names because whenever I would walk into a room or the post office or a small town grocery store with my mom, people would shout, Clover! And I would feel famous. I remember her showing me crocus flowers blooming. It was early spring and the earth was still brown and there were patches of snow. It was one of those warm end of winter days where it's sunny with blue skies and the air isn't cold on your face anymore. We were on a back road hill and the brown grass was tall, so it folded over onto itself after a long sleep beneath the snow. It puffed up in bunches along the south-facing slope, and I could pat it down with my bare hands. My mother was showing me how you could spot the dots of purple and pull back the grass to see the crocus, soft and ready for a new year. Parting the dried grass, she revealed a small cluster of flowers. I remember her teaching me to touch their soft petals. Be gentle. They had little hairs on them, which I remember feeling with the tip of my finger, and it reminded me of tiny feathers. I imagined them as baby birds, hatched from earth and nestled in the grass. The sun was on our faces and our jackets rested open, and the crisp air that only arrives with changing seasons engulfed us as my mother crouched down, and me too, and she whispered to me, watch. If you are patient and count your breath and focus your eyes, you can actually catch the moment a crocus blooms. It opens from its little purple ball and the petals slowly come apart, with a mesmerizing rarity of rigidity shifting to fluidity. It's a stretch so dainty it moved me to tears. You can see the yellow flecks in the center as the flower settles into a new state of being. Mouth open to call in spring. We crouch, and I wonder how it is to see sky for the first time. These little babies making way from beneath thick layers of waiting. How have they come here? I ask. Through the cold, she answers. My mother would coo to them, hello, sweet thing. Hello, sweet thing. I always hunt for crocus in spring and try to catch that moment of petaled beaks and delicate feathers, the reaching of fresh life anchored in gentleness and exposed breath. I seem to align with that precious thing far less when I am alone, and yet I know they are blooming. Hello, sweet thing. Hello, sweet thing. Sung by a woman whose name holds all the love I could ever imagine, and reminding me every crocus I see is for Clover. The next piece I have for y'all is a rap, so rhythm and poetry, and it is about, for me, being a woman in hip hop and navigating spaces that have been often dominated by male voices, and also honoring that I'm a guest to hip hop as a white person and paying respect to Black culture and Black art forms. And I feel like at the core of this song, I was uncovering finding something that makes you feel alive and bringing that into the world from a place of understanding and authenticity. And if people put up barriers to certain voices entering certain spaces, it limits those spaces. And so this piece is about doing what ignites you and knowing that your voice is powerful and it's important. And it's called Forgive 'Em. Hey, it's either free, hey, stay alive. Ha. I find it ironic you gon' call a woman weak when she's probably the strongest thing you ever gonna meet. Giving way to new creation, still a pleasure to hit. That's some warrior action unto the highest element. Go and bask in it, baby. Take a second to chill. If you lucky to meet her, you best bring plenty of skill. Don't lay down for nobody, so you touch clean on your knees. I have you royal converted when you spend time with the queen. I'm not bragging, it's real talk. I own what I bring. Mix it sweeter than icing before you even get in. I like the top down, windows in motion. We going on. The wind in my hair, it's a curious mystery. Now I see that you care. You just wanna uncover, best get as far as you can. Cause you heard that it's gold, thus grant your wish where I stand. Don't get lost when you down and you might never come up. Laying back while you bask and whisper, you know I'm the one. Yeah, you know I'm the one. Ha, ha, hey. So God forgive them, they know not what they do. I stay strong in my stance, watch the waves when I move. God forgive them, they know not what they do. Now. God forgive them, they know not what they do. I stay strong in my stance, watch the waves when I move. God forgive them, they know not what they do. Nah. Oh, I get it, and I'd be mad scared too if I didn't respect women and the power they move. Soon as Z come and take a strip off of this mic, you don't know what you be saying, you can't handle my hype. I do it right every time, that's how this bitch gon' run it. I'm a bad one gunning, you see how it just be frontin'. There's nothing to your psyche and there's nothing to your soul. A woman hits the microphone, you think you gotta go. You can't stand to be in the same room, the way I kill it. You gotta get some air cause you know you gon' feel it. Resisting cause you fin protect on your power. But I'm calculated and I'll be making you cower. I ain't a coward, I stand strong in the face of the dark. Mess the patriarchy up with the way that I bark. Feel it deep in your system, I make all the people listen. Come and get it if you will, and God forgive them. God forgive them, they know not what they do. I stay strong in my stance, watch the waves when I move. God forgive them, they know not what they do. They know not. They know not. God forgive them, they know not what they do. I stay strong in my stance, watch the waves when I move. God forgive them, they know not. 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 Forgive them, forgive them, forgive them. God forgive them, God forgive them, God forgive them. Just forgive them, forgive them, forgive them. God forgive them, they know not. They know not. Forgive them, they know not what they do. Strong in my stance, watch the waves when I move. Forgive them, forgive them, forgive them. Hey, thanks so much. I love this opportunity, and I'm grateful for these spaces for us to share in creative community together. Much love.
My name is Zoey Priceless Roy. I am Cree, Dene, and Métis, a proud member of Peter Ballantine Cree Nation, and a proud graduate of Suntap and Johnson Shoyama Graduate School of Public Policy at the University of Saskatchewan. I was also this year's storyteller in residence at the university's libraries. It is my pleasure to be here with this wonderful group of people who you've heard so far. Every one of them has a really dear place in my heart, and really the university does too. It's not the university as a structure, but the university as a group of people who I know to want to make the world a better place. And you know what? The Tyndall Stone of the university is actually, really reminiscent of our ancestors as well. So the university structure actually does have a place in my heart because, Tyndall Stone can only be found on Treaty 1 territory. So the Tyndall Stone that the University of Saskatchewan is made of is actually from Métis territory. That was, of course, colonized and reappropriated as farmland. But in order to get access to that farmland, they would have, found the Tyndall Stone first, and they knew that it was valuable. And we know that stones are alive. And so I really do feel comforted by the structure of the University of Saskatchewan as well. So I'm going to perform a few poems for you. And the first poem is called Women Are. And I am performing this because it was just International Women's Day. And I really love women. And this is an oldie but a goodie. This is Women Are. We are the wonders of the world. Whatever it takes, we'll make it work. We are caretakers of the earth. We're warriors for all people, defenders of all that's life. We will not be pushed aside. Women are transcenders of greatness. We're sacred. Women are patient. Sometimes some of us are late, but we more than make it. Women are valued to be valued because we're valuable. Women are the foundation. Listen, we're not malleable. Women have character and we come in all shapes and sizes. Women are resilient. We persevere, rain or shine. Women endure struggle, and at most times it's silent, but women are courageous. Yes, women give me guidance. Women are leaders. We're multi-talented, complex. Yes, women are the boss without having to flex. Yes, women are storytellers, story keepers, teachers. Women are community builders, insightful believers, catalysts. You are all my sisters. Women are an inspiration. Women are life givers, a majestic yet perfected creation. Women are elevating, and we elevate each other. Yeah, we're independent, but we still need our brothers. Women are powerful. and we carry a voice, and we'll hold our position till it's time to make noise, 'cause we are the wonders of the world. Whatever it takes, we'll make it work. We are caretakers of the earth. Thank you so much. So, recently, I got to be a part of this campaign by Cheekbone Beauty, who won a challenge where they got to have their makeup inside Sephora stores and have a huge campaign where they featured my poem and they also showed my face in it. It was kind of cool. And so my face was on like these lipstick boxes in Sephora stores all across Canada, still are actually. And my face was also on a billboard in Ontario, in Toronto. It's so crazy. Super busy highway. There's Zoey. Like, what? I'm from Black Lake. Hey. So this poem is actually, it's called Unsilent. And when I wrote it, there was a lot of challenges that our young people were facing in northern Saskatchewan. And you know what? Young people are still facing a lot of challenges in northern Saskatchewan because we know that the pandemic has exacerbated already issues around social inequities that disproportionately affect Indigenous people. So, if you have the resources and you have the ability to support youth at this time, I would strongly recommend you finding an entry point to be a support for the young people around you. I can't imagine the issues that they're facing. So, yeah, my love, my heart goes out to all the young people, especially in northern Saskatchewan, who are fighting the good fight of just living a good life. And so this poem is for them. I want to tell you that you've had your voice all along, the beat of your heart and the rhythm of your song. Your song, your story belongs to your tongue. We've been hidden and silenced, but we've never been gone. I want to tell you you're not voiceless, that we've been silenced on purpose, that we've been tricked to believe that our stories are worthless. I want to tell you that pain doesn't have to be stagnant. Our bodies, our blood remembers. I want to tell you that your tears will help us all heal. Let your eyes be the window between your hope and our fears, between the past and what's here. Your wisdom is a gift, and if the world fails to hear you, then demand we listen like a magnifying glass. Amplify your insight. You don't have to be old to know what's right for your life. The world's dark and cold, and every fire needs a stone. Remember this if you ever forget your way back home. I want to tell you that you're worth everything you dream of, that you're worth every hug, that it's still safe to love. Your embrace may be gone, and your smile may be missing, but your imagination is still yours. So find the stars and just keep on wishing, just keep on praying. We'll put our tobacco down and fingers crossed that we heal from this pain that all those strangers brought. And we'll stand with you and pray and struggle and bleed. They tried so hard to bury us. They didn't know that we are seeds. They tried to take our language, and here we speak. Peace. Thank you. So the next poem I'm going to do for you is a poem that I wrote inspired by the challenges I was facing with being the most supportive person in my life. Sometimes it might feel like nobody supports you. But I know that from my own reflection, that when I feel that nobody supports me, it's often because I'm not being supportive of my own self. And I wanted to reflect on that. I always do. So here's a poem about that. It's called Answer. My heart is still soft, but I've been trying so hard to understand the world and how to play my part, how to make my dreams come true, and establish my own worldview. So I've been collecting these stories within me, and they've been telling me, like enlightened energy, that I'm beginning to shine. And I realize that through self-talk that I can be my biggest motivator. I just need myself to load my savior when I'm acting up on my worst behavior, when I'm stuck in my head or sunk in my stomach, when I'm afraid of losing this luck and imposter syndrome, when I'm afraid of making it, or I'm afraid that I won't, when I'm afraid to let you all down and I'll be up here all alone. But I tell the kids to do it anyway, because we all carry that distress. That bravery doesn't make us any more, and fear doesn't make us any less. It's just a matter of pushing through. And in turn, they show me how to be curious of all that's new. And so I repeat this in the mirror, as if I'm one of the children who show me their bravery and arose with sheer willingness, and I'm reminded that it's okay to be wrong, that you don't need to be a melody to be a part of making songs, that you don't need to be the accountant to be the business, and that it's okay to make mistakes, just always ask for forgiveness. That relationships are aplenty because we all need a lot. And that there's always people near you who would love what you got. That no one is self-made. And we go nowhere with self-hate. And it's so funny how gratitude comes into play when I don't allow fear to win, but I learn how to carry it while lacking grace. So I just come out here on this stage with all of my imperfections in tow, because this is what keeps me alive and gives my blood this healthy flow and this cute DNA glow. But when it's time to get up and go, I can't be the only one that's challenged. The one mustering up the hope to weave through the daily ropes, and I'm handling it. Because I know that my inner child will always stay low to catch me when I can no longer stay afloat. And these children remind me that I've always been my own answer. And all I have to do is answer. Thank you. All right, so the final poem I have for you is something that I wrote recently in honor of the 2-year anniversary of the pandemic. I remember 2 years ago thinking back of like how crazy it'll be to stay in our homes for 2 whole weeks. And now it's been 2 years. So that's just something to acknowledge. It's been a lot. And so this writing prompt is something I got from CBC, and it's 2 years of, and it's something that would typically be a part of one of my poetry sessions that the participants were speaking of. And yeah, something that I want to encourage you to reflect on and write about as well. What did the last 2 years look like for you? What did you have to endure to get here? What do you know as a result? That kind of stuff is important to think about, in my opinion. All right, so I called my poem erase the blur. It's been an honor, to be here, to share this virtual stage with all these beautiful people, and I can't wait to see you in person. All right, here's my poem. 2 years of social seismic shifts backing us into our comfort zone. A pandemic drifts our collective consciousness into concerted grief. We stay home while the earth sleeps. Pushing the walls out, bending backwards, spiraling ourselves to find solace, something to console us, desperate to find new stories we can call our own. Outside of our heads, outside of our homes. We spill out from the edges of our rooftop, spirals wedging their way out of our mouths. We spill out from our minds. When our silence breaks, let it be okay to cry. It really has been a lot to take in. Pulling from within, we retreat for good reason. Find our sources of empathy. Allow ourselves to reset. We know the threats of an empty tank, to feel chaos when our minds are blank, to see death, to lose touch with our memories when things seem to be at rest. 2 years to help us forget that the old normal wasn't what we wanted anyway. 2 years to learn the true length of an entire day. The weaving of our grief, to feel the weight of our collective heartbreak. 2 years that seem to be a blur we can't erase.